Your mom. That's it.
I don't even think my mom subscribed. I'll get her to subscribe though on both of her emails. I'll just steal her phone and do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 days ago, I received a text message from none other than a man right here saying, I need to talk. All right, let's get this podcast going. I have something to say. All right. And I was like, let's do it. And I want to hear what this man has to say. So what inspired you to send me that text message?
I think it's Elon doing his thing.
Bestie Elon.
Yeah, your bestie Elon. I was really annoyed. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is bullshit. This is Elon just getting his way, bullying a company to buy it off. Just billionaire being a billionaire, being an absolute dickhead. So just a bit of a disclaimer before we start. We're probably gonna jump into a lot of political stuff, a lot of things. So if you guys aren't into it, probably click off right now.
I think people are here to hear what you have to say. I'm sure people are excited to see if you get angry. So they'll stick around for that. Okay. How about we explain the story? Do you want to tell the story? Do you want me to break down the timeline? Do you want to do it?
You do it.
I do it? Okay.
Yep.
So it all started when one of Aman's best friends, Elon Musk, decided one day to put a little poll out on Twitter and be like, hey guys, what do you think? Do you think something along the lines of, do you think free speech is important for Twitter? And it was a yes or no poll. And then he, comments underneath and he's like, this poll will have very important ramifications or whatever, right? And, people vote. Did you vote in the poll?
Yeah, I did.
You did? What did you say?
I said no.
You said no. Okay. I can tell where this is going to go.
Yeah, I'll probably discuss more onto that. But you continue with your timeline.
Anyway, so, everyone's like, oh, this is Elon just saying stuff again, just for whatever. But then, I don't know how many days later, but sometime after that, we find out Elon has bought, almost 10% of Twitter stock.
13.
Yeah. And we're like, bro, what's going on? This guy's for real about this Twitter thing. So people start freaking out. Elon tweets, oh, hi, when people start freaking out. But then it also comes out that he actually didn't disclose. You're supposed to, once you buy I think more than 5% of a company, you're supposed to kind of disclose that, hey, I have a pretty high stake in this company. But he didn't disclose it. He disclosed it late, which basically meant that because people didn't know, he essentially got the extra percent, everything above 5% for a cheaper price, because once people find out that someone's buying a lot of stock, they usually want to jump on as well. I'll leave my opinions for later.
But basically, you forgot the fact that Twitter and Elon were sort of going back and forth, where Twitter board members were like, okay, you know what, we might actually just take the pill and tank the prices. And Elon loses a lot of money, because what Elon had done is he'd offered, 54 billion?
Yeah. I guess at this point he hasn't made the offer. He's just bought a lot of the stock. But then he starts saying he gets offered a place on the board actually first. Twitter CEO is like, hey, we're going to add this guy to the board. Then a few days later, they're like, actually, we're not going to do that. And then Elon's like, you know what? I'm just going to buy you guys. So he makes an offer for $50-something billion, 40-something billion dollars, at a much higher price than the current value of Twitter. And then as you said, the board basically was like, they found a way to stop him. Well, they tried to find a way to stop him, and this poison pill thing that you mentioned. And then I thought it was done. I thought that's it. It's over. And then literally I think a week later or less than a week later, it just shows up that he's just bought the whole thing. Like they just accepted it. I think what happened was he ended up finding he actually sorted out the financing, and he was like, this is how I'm going to pay. And he was like, guys, I have the money to do this. Because there was some doubts whether all his money is tied up in assets and all that kind of stuff. And then basically it was an offer that they couldn't refuse. And it almost was like it wouldn't have been fair on the shareholders for the board to say no at that point. So they were like, okay, fine. That's that. It's a deal. I'll stop there. That's the main part of the thing. We can talk about what happened after that or what will happen from there now.
Well, from there, I woke up in the morning. Well, I'll tell you right after that, right? I was like, first thing I wake up, I get a heap of notification. I'm like, what the fuck is going on Twitter? I opened Twitter and it's like, Elon Musk. I'm like, is it related to something related to Doge? What's going on? Because he failed with Twitter.
Do you have notifications on for Elon Musk?
I do actually.
You do?
I do have it on because of the volatility. So you remember how when I was into crypto riot, I needed to know what this guy's going to tweet. If he's going to tank something or if he's going to keep going, like if he's going to pump something, right? Okay. And I had to know that, and that's why I had him on notifications on.
Okay.
Wake up in the morning, I'm like all distorted and stuff. Wake up, see this. I'm like, what the fuck? I was so annoyed. I was like pissed off. Messaged a couple of people like, what the fuck is going on over here? This is bullshit. I was fairly pissed. Yeah. That was definitely the topic of the day. And and then I messaged you and be like, hey, we need to do a podcast. So now we're here.
Better make it happen. Now we're here. Okay. So I guess thoughts on the way he went about buying.
It's a very Elon way. It's a very, very Elon way. And it's one of those very dickhead billionaire sort of a way into bullying or sort of forcing board to buy them off or become a CEO. So a good example is people have this idea that Elon Musk was the founder of Tesla. A lot of people at least think that way, right? Who don't quite know much about Tesla or the history of Tesla. Yeah. But he wasn't. It was actually by these two guys. I don't even remember the name, but it was by these two guys. They started Tesla. He basically pretty much hijacked the company where he was a board member, and then he sort of kicked the CEO, the guys, the founders, off Tesla and took it over. Yeah. So I'm not at all surprised that Elon would do something like this. Yeah. What about you? What were your thoughts when you sort of saw that?
I don't know. Like, I can't tell if he literally just did this on a whim or what. Like it seems like very just like, as of 2 months ago, he had little to no Twitter stock, and now the guy owns the whole thing.
I reckon that this was more planned than we are forced to believe, just because there was big changes from Twitter happening, right? The good example is Jack Dorsey. He stepped down as a CEO. There was definitely something happening behind the scenes. I know Elon and Jack Dorsey had conversations as well on none of the applications. I don't know where this conversation happened, but they had a whole conversation around, I think, Web3 and crypto and everything around that. So I think things were happening behind the scenes, and we just weren't aware of it. This is just not public knowledge. But Elon being Elon, he's quite smart. He's quite a smart of a businessman, and he knows what he's doing. So I think it was
Yeah.
definitely planned. He might act like an absolute idiot online, but he knows what he's doing. He's very well aware of that.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts, at least.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he knows what he's doing. Like, I don't think he would have. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that he was going to buy it from the start.
Mhm.
I think if they had just given him the board seat, he would have been fine. But I think they played around, and I think he was just pushed. Like, he was just like, everyone's saying, "Oh, you can't do this. You can't
His
do this."
ego was hurt.
And then he was like, "You know what? I'm literally just gonna buy this thing."
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's interesting. He's such a character. He feels like he's out of a movie.
Yeah. He thinks he's Iron Man. Let's be honest.
Well, he's getting there.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
He's getting there. Well, I'm not saying he's gonna go around, in a suit, but in terms of the persona and just the way everyone looks at him, it's very similar to that of Tony Stark vibes.
I don't know. He is like, for some reason now I get more of a Lex Luthor vibe from him than Tony Stark. I'm just gonna say this.
I'm sure. Maybe, possibly. That's not a bad comparison, actually. We'll see. We'll see what his master plan is.
All he needs to go is bald, and that'll be it.
I think you do it for the memes. Well, look, I think Elon and Twitter have had a great relationship. Like, we can't deny how entertaining the man is on Twitter. Okay, that's the truth of the fact. I actually think that him owning it is going to take some of the fun away from him on Twitter.
Did you not see his recent tweet? He was like, "Oh, I'll buy off Coca-Cola as well."
Okay, that was hilarious. That was very funny. He's doing a great job. He's entertaining. It's just that, like, he says all the stuff that you're like, "Oh, dude, you can't say this," But now it's like he can because he owns the thing.
Yeah.
So it's not the same. Like, there's no risk of him getting like
banned
or for anything.
Yeah.
But I guess, speaking of banning, he says his motives are around free speech on the internet. Are you buying it? If you are buying it, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I reckon that is his goal. It's not just that, though. Like, the way he's shown it is just that. It's definitely not just that.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably get a bit deep into it, so because you've asked me this question, right? The thing is, the free speech that a lot of people talk about and a lot of people what they say, right, in this current generation doesn't exist. Free speech was something that was sort of used to empower people who couldn't say, like, who are minorities, right, and who didn't have a say in the society. Free speech was that. The current definition of free speech is becoming one of those right-wing idiots. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go political, so that's why I told you guys to leave if you don't agree. But it's for these right-wing idiots to spread not only misinformation but to bully people these days, and that's where I feel like this is going to be a very, very, very dangerous path. The reason why I felt like, even though yes, there were a couple of like bans that Twitter does that I don't agree with, but I think that it's important to have these community guidelines, because you know what, these big companies, these big social media have a lot of power, and if these guys are not going to protect these minority groups, no one will. Every trashy ass person is gonna be swearing N-word, and gonna be like, oh no, it's fucking free speech. And we hear that all the time. Good example is Trump. He basically got a whole terrorist attack done on January 2nd, January 6th, and basically put democracy on jeopardy based on free speech. We saw that play out really, it went really dirty, right? It could have been really dangerous situation. And that's where I feel like this free speech that he's talking about will not exist. It's not going to work out. We're going down the same exact path, and I just don't think I don't buy in it. That's my thoughts around it.
Okay.
What do you think?
I see a point, and I think that there are definitely cases where you need to enforce some sort of control over what people are saying. But I think it needs to be for like very extreme cases where they're like saying, you guys go kill these guys, kind of thing.
But then that's against what Elon wants, right? You're allowed to, according to the First Amendment, you're allowed to say anything. Even if you say you could go kill someone, you can say that.
No, I think legally you can't incite, like you can't do direct threats of violence. That's not covered under free speech legally.
So why is Trump roaming around free right now?
Because he didn't directly say it. That's what I'm saying. If you don't directly say it,
he definitely did, though.
If you don't directly say it, if you don't say, "Hey, go and literally hurt these people," it's very hard to prove that, because then you can use for any like sarcastic joke, then you can use it for that. So it has to be very clear that that's what you're doing. Otherwise, there's a lot of things that you can say when taken out of context that just can get you in jail, basically. Mm-hmm. So I think for that kind of stuff, and I think that's what Elon said recently in a tweet. He was like, basically, he wants to hold up free speech to the letter to the law. In a recent tweet, he said this, and he actually got a little bit of backlash from people for that. But yeah, so I think for those cases, you can't let people, go around organizing, killing, that kind of stuff.
What about online bullying? It's a real issue. Like we can't say in this social climate we do have online bullying and harassment, regardless of whatever. It is one of those side effects and one of those shitty things that come with social media. How do we?
I think it's a real issue. I don't think banning accounts is the way to go. I think that people are smart enough to figure out ways to stop that.
Give me one example.
An idea would be like, you can set for only accounts that are like not anonymous accounts, basically, to interact with you on Twitter. So they can't, if you tag them, you're not going to see it. That kind of stuff. Like you literally don't see any tweets from any accounts that are not that are anonymous accounts.
Yeah, but even I'm not even talking about anonymous stuff, right? Yeah. Let's say if bullying is happening, and that happens. Like a good example is there are relationships where let's say a guy decides that, hey, actually, I'm gonna harass this ex of mine, and it's gonna happen. Like a lot of these people are surrounded by a circle. Like people who end up bullying, right? They are surrounded by a circle which sort of promotes bullying as well. Like anonymous.
You just block the person, right?
You could, but again, it's the same thing, right? Like you're gonna keep blocking them, keep blocking their whole circle again and again.
Yeah.
Like rather than that, wouldn't it be better that, hey, someone like that shouldn't be on a platform, shouldn't be given a platform?
I don't think it needs to go that far. Can I take a small break and just say that
Yeah.
this is a private company and they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, 100%.
So this is just like an ethical conversation about like if we had the power to control this, what would we want enforced? And yeah, so I think the bullying is a good case for getting people banned, but I don't think it's good enough to actually remove them from the platform. I think you can block them. You can do what Instagram does, where you can block them and any other accounts that they make, that kind of stuff. I think there's ways to get around it other than removing them from the platform.
I don't know.
But that's just my opinion.
I don't. I think there should be harsher punishments. I'm just saying, it's like I don't think like sometimes consequences can be too big of these online harassment and bullying that we're not banning. Like a good example is, let's say somebody's being bullying, right? Yeah, they let's say they don't block them by then, because sometimes a relationship can become can go to a point where it's a bit toxic, but they still don't want to sort of let go as well, right? And then they get bullied so much that they end up committing suicide. What do you do at that point? And this is a very common case as well. It's not something like, oh, that would be like, oh, this would be once in a blue moon. This is quite a common case. Online bullying is a real thing, especially amongst teenagers. What do you do then? When you're in the same circle, you have to still meet them in real life, right? And then you go online. You can't. There are peer pressures where you can't just block the person. And what if this same person does the same exact thing to other people as well?
Well, if you're not going to block them, it's very unlikely that you're going to get them taken off the platform, right? Like, how do you enforce removing people from
reporting? There's a lot of people need to start reporting them. That's how it should go.
I think there actually are policies like that in place actually on Twitter for bullying and reporting.
There are. Yeah, 100%. They're still there, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's there at the moment, right? There's proper guidelines, but Elon plans to remove those guidelines. Because the thing is, these bans are happening because of these community guidelines, right? Good example is TikTok. All these other social media platforms, they do this, right? They end up removing you. But Twitter is planning to just remove all these guidelines, and you know what? It's a free for all. That's what it seems like. It seems like online is just going to be free for all. Sure, people might have like a blue check next to them, sort of verifying that who this person is, and they're not going to be anonymous, but still, it doesn't solve. It's a much more complex problem than Elon's making it. And the reason why these companies didn't have these community guidelines. The reason why these companies were pushed to the community guidelines is because of how the suicide rate were increasing because of this online bullying. Twitter being a platform, being so big, right? It has responsibilities as well. Like we held up Mark Zuckerberg for all these responsibilities, right? When he's only at 12%, not even 12%. He's less than a certain percentage of. He's less than 10% of owner for Facebook. We held him responsible, even though there's like a whole board behind him who sort of.
He's the CEO.
Yeah, he's the CEO, but there's a board behind him who sort of still has a say to a lot of things he does, right?
Yeah.
You're giving this to one person and one person only, who said that, you know what, screw this, because you know what, Elon Musk has probably not gone through any of this, right? He's a big persona. He's a billionaire. He doesn't go through all these normal people stuff. he would not know. And giving that 100% power to this one person who's like, you know what, I'm going to remove these community guidelines, which will, I think is going to be a full circle. It will be a full circle. I think we're going back to old ways, and Twitter is not going to be the same. It's definitely not going to be the same. And then it's going to be a full circle where oh, you know what, people within company are going to realize that, hey, things are going very, very wrong, especially in their own watch. As a person who's working in a company, right, you sort of take responsibility of your product as well. A lot of these people will take that responsibility, and if things aren't going to be heard, and by the sounds of it, the way Elon runs things in Tesla, SpaceX, that's the things that we've people hear from these companies, right? He's not the person who wants to listen, but he wants to enforce things. And that's where I feel it's going to be a whole full circle where he's going to remove all these community guidelines, and there's going to be a massive pressure, and people like there will be lives at stake.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's I don't believe that should be the sacrifice for him to understand why we've gone this path, of this community guidelines within all these companies.
Yeah. Look, so you make some good points. I will not deny it. I don't know. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Go.
I'll let you finish your point.
See, the thing is, I do understand the value of free speech. Yeah, I do. I 100% do. But you know what? It's at a too big of a cost for me to just be on board with it.
Yeah. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I think it definitely is a problem. I think my only point is that removing sound from the platform is not the only way you can solve these problems. That's basically my only point in that instance. I think there are enough smart people to figure this out.
100%.
And I think because Twitter is such it's, they call it the public square essentially now. Yeah. It is taking a lot away from someone to remove them from that as well. But yeah, as I said, it's just an app at the end of the day. People will carry, their lives will continue unless they make their living off Twitter, which is unlikely. I want to switch to another topic if you're okay, if you're done with the what are your thoughts on it in regards to the whole misinformation conversation?
I think the way misinformation needs to be handled is probably not removing, and I don't believe in just removing these accounts or removing the whole post, right? But I love the idea when Twitter came up with the fact that, hey, you know what? Actually, we'll put a banner on top saying that, hey, this is actually the actual information regarding this subject, and this might be subject to misinformation. I think that's the way it should go, and I'm all right with people saying whatever crap they say in terms of misinformation. It can be very dangerous, and firsthand can see due to this whole COVID situation, right? The amount, the type of WhatsApp messages. I don't know if your parents use WhatsApp, but my parents do, and the amount of WhatsApp messages that I get, which is just untrue, and that's what spreads around WhatsApp because it's not regulated, right? This kind of stuff is quite dangerous. Like there were reports that, hey, people have been getting water instead of vaccine, so don't take vaccine. These things are very dangerous the way they spread, and if they aren't handled more sensitively and more smartly, it can get very much out of hand. So Twitter can just change into the next WhatsApp. That's my thoughts around it.
Yeah.
I don't
Scary
think.
thing is, side note, is
Yeah.
that actually happened in, I think, Germany. There was this nurse that was anti-vax, and she was giving fake vaccines, just like saline solution. Anyway, sorry,
Yeah.
carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
I
wouldn't.
don't think that's enough for someone to be like, okay, no one take vaccine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I've been like I've had some conversation with a couple of these super right wing people, right?
Mm,
And I'm just gonna say, like, I'm sorry, these guys are not cases, in my opinion. they like I've had conversations where they say that hello, pay gap doesn't exist between genders. I've had these people say that like they're actually microchipping you, and I've
mm,
literally stopped being friends with people like this because you know what, it's too crazy, it's too crazy, man, it's too crazy. And this is what I'm saying, like, misinformation needs to be handled properly, especially uh, like something like a pandemic, right? That was
mm,
such a big thing and everyone was affected and people would die because of this stuff.
yeah.
um, so I think there needs to be something. I don't think they need to remove the post because see, I do agree that hey, we need to listen to both sides, even if the right side is like, okay, you know what, fuck everything, fuck all this, you know what, let's still listen to them,
Mm,
but it still needs to be handled in a very responsible way.
yeah.
That's my thoughts
Yeah.
around it. What do you think? Like, what's your thoughts around?
Um, yeah, pretty much what you said covers it. Um, let's let people be dumb, you know. Uh, if they're gonna be wrong, they're gonna be wrong. I think it's the responsibility of the like, for example, in the case of the pandemic, it's better to just be aware. The people that are in charge of giving out the proper information just need to do a better job than the people who are giving. But it's very hard. Like, lies spread so much faster than the truth. So it's it's very hard, but you know, there are people that are paid to be in these communication positions, and they just need to do their job well. And I think the problem with a lot of misinformation is they find a way to take the truth and kind of like use that to spread the lies, you know. So
Yeah,
as soon as the, like, let's say the people in charge, like the CDC, mess up once, it's like, look, see this, they can't be trusted. And then, like, yeah, like, there's the one part you can't argue with, and then they just tag all the lies on with that, and then it's
yeah,
just like, you know, it makes it very hard. But you know, you just gotta be better, you know. So
yeah. That's it.
yeah.
I think, yeah, I think in terms of that, like, I don't think people need to be banned. I think my ban
Mm,
is more around. I just don't want minority groups to be marginalized or minority groups to
mm,
feel the bullying because you know what, it's not right. Uh, Bullying is not all right. Be it anyone, be it anyone. You know what? Even if somebody I don't agree with, even they shouldn't be bullied, regardless of whatever. Nobody should be feeling that way, and that's why I have a very strong stance on that. I'm like, no, I don't accept this because you know what? The free speech that he talks about doesn't
mm.
exist anymore. Uh, it has a whole different definition right now, especially in the current climate of things. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
that's been my biggest thought. Okay, quick question around all the stuff, right? Like, what did you think of? I don't know if you've given this much of a thought, but you know how Twitter staff currently get paid half as the salary, right, and half as stock. What
Mm,
do you think is going to happen when uh, Elon, because Elon bought the 100% of the company, right? So they
yeah.
can't get paid by stock anymore. So that means they'll be paid half the money that they are getting paid right now.
Yeah, I guess the money from the buyout will go to them
Yeah.
as shareholders, and then their salaries will probably just become regular salaries.
But yeah, I've been hearing a lot. Like a lot of people are very concerned, especially in Twitter. I don't know
Yeah.
um, how much you've paid attention online around this
Mm,
topic, right? but they are so concerned around the fact that they've said that, hey, okay, next 6 months we're not going to change anything,
Mhm.
but after 6 months it could be anything. Anything could
Yeah.
happen in this company,
Mm. Yeah.
and that's a very scary place to be in.
Yeah.
Especially not even knowing like what the pay structure is going to be,
Yeah.
what like pay structure changes, right, as well, because people usually buy into or sort of negotiated the salary at the time, to
Mm.
have a certain amount of stock, because you know what, they believed in that company and they believed in the
Yeah.
stock as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because a stock can never stay the same price, right? They get the thing, and let's say the stock is going to keep increasing. That's
Mm.
why they buy into that company, and that's why they sort of want to be an employee. But this
Yeah.
sort of changes a lot for employees.
Yeah. Um, I don't know how it's gonna go. I think you're right in that Elon just like, I want this to happen, make it happen kind of person.
Mhm.
So I don't know what's gonna happen with the stuff. I saw something recently like where the CEO of the current CEO of Twitter
Yep.
was getting asked questions. I guess they have their like company meeting or whatever, and was getting asked questions, and he was just like, I don't know what's gonna happen, pretty much. And like when your own CEO doesn't know what's gonna happen, obviously the confidence is gonna be very low. Um, I'm actually more concerned that Elon is already spread like thin enough. Like he's got so much work. Like how many companies is he, CEO of? Like how is he he's gonna like come and check in once a month and be like, I want these features, and then go away.
Yeah.
And then, come back. And sometimes you probably only this I've always thought about this with Tesla.
Yeah.
This guy tweets so much, right? And he'll be like, oh, we'll have this ready in 3 weeks. And it's like, oh, okay, we'll make the change right now. And I'm just like, do these guys get the instructions off Twitter, or does he like tell them straight away, or they just like I'm just wondering,
dude,
if
no,
like,
so they do. So this is, I don't know if you've heard too much about how employees are in Tesla, right?
Yeah.
But it's so bad over there because a lot of these guys, they have this expectation. So the way things run, right? And knowing Elon, he is that kind of a character. He's a workaholic. He works a crazy amount of hours. He devotes a lot of time. He sleeps in the office.
Yeah.
But the worst part is, right, he expects the same from his employees. If his employees aren't doing that, he like it's pretty clear that they're not going to go up the ranks.
Yeah.
Even though they've provided their fair share and they do the actual amount of hours, right?
Yeah.
Which is fucked up. If I was in a company and that was happening, I would be leaving that company straight away. But yeah, it's quite fucked up. And the other thing is, the deadlines that Elon creates, and this is why sort of Tesla doesn't meet its deadlines like ever, is because Elon decides on it without knowing what he thinks he's because he has an engineering degree, right? He thinks that he knows everything. And he goes ahead and creates a deadline himself, and then be like, okay, you need to provide me this by this time. And that's why a lot of employees end up overworking.
Yeah. So I just totally see that happening, like with Twitter as well. And just being like, edit button next week, and then everyone on Twitter is just like, oh, what, really? Like, did you hear about this? I bet everyone at Tesla and like SpaceX has Elon's notifications turned on. I'm sure that's like part of the job requirements, have notifications on, so you know what you're doing tomorrow at work.
That this guy is crazy. Like, I'm just gonna say, like, dude, if I was an employee at Twitter, I would have started applying to other places straight away. I would not even hesitate to be like, okay, you know what, I can't, like, I would not want to be at vicinity of Elon Musk at all if I was working for him, like, ever. That's
what work for Tesla now.
I wouldn't work for Tesla. I would work against Tesla, sure. If Apple employs me, sure, I'll help them out. and we'll make sure that
Okay.
because Tesla does do a lot of dumb shit because of Elon
Mm.
and Elon's ego. And I'm gonna say that that's what's gonna be the end of. Well, it's not gonna be the end of him, but that's what's gonna put the company backwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is me hinting towards LiDAR and not using LiDAR in their car.
Listen, I'll text Tim Cook and let him know that you're available. All right.
Timothy's not gonna hire me.
Is it because you speak bad of him on this podcast?
I give him so much money though. Like fuck's
You
sake.
you do give him a lot of money, but not enough praise, and that's the problem.
Yeah, but you gotta be real. Gotta be real with these things. Some of these guys, they have too much of an ego.
That's fair. Tell him like it is. That's fair. I had a surprise for you,
Okay.
but it's not ready yet. It was related to Twitter, and I think I'm gonna wait until our next episode
All right.
to give it to you. But I'll give it to you the next episode.
Yeah, dude, I'm like really thinking of getting off Twitter. So
Yeah.
I don't think we touched on this topic, right? But what are the consequences? What are the reasons why Elon would have bought Twitter?
Mm.
And I had this one really. I feel like this is going to be a big issue, and this is a big issue for myself, honestly, because we've seen how this plays out. So he bought Twitter because Twitter is. I don't know about you, but at least I sort of find most of my news from Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I use Twitter for news.
Yep.
Elon being the biggest, like, well, he owns Twitter, right? 100% of Twitter. He basically makes any decision and anything negative against him, he's gonna make sure that that's gone. He's gonna make sure that everything that's on Twitter. And even though that's going to go against his free speech policy, right?
Yeah.
He's going to make sure that it's very hush hush, and he swings things towards himself. Like a good example is towards Twitter, not towards Twitter, sorry, Tesla, towards SpaceX, towards his companies, his ideas, his ideologies, right?
Mm.
And he's definitely very right wing. Like he put a tweet out as well recently saying that he was right wing, right? I don't know if you've seen this one.
I have not seen this one.
This was very recent as well, but he's been tweeting too much recently, anyways. But yeah, basically he is very right wing, right? The amount of damage that's gonna do, and this, because I feel Twitter is the sort of like the news, like your true source of news right now, of the digital age, of the new age, right? It's going to be the same sort of a deal where, you know how Murdoch sort of owns a lot of this media companies in Australia. It's going to be the same exact case where he will be sort of the king of what he owns, what goes on Twitter. And he manipulates it. Even if, let's say, he doesn't remove something, right? He'll make sure something that he wants to be the agenda, be it in a Twitter, be it in a political space, be it in any sort of space, right? It's gonna be based off what he likes, so he can sort of go ahead and manipulate that. And that is something that I think is gonna happen, and I think that's very, very, very dangerous territories.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you're 100%, because it's been done before. I don't know if you know that, like, Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post. So it's possible. It's possible that that's his angle. I hope that's not the angle. I hope, but he definitely has a history of silencing critics. Using his power, essentially.
Top Gear. I don't know if you see the whole thing behind Top Gear.
I know he sued them. I believe he sued them at some point.
Yeah, they were like, we're not gonna stay silent. Here you go, you dumb bitch.
And he's he's got a problem with criticism, I think. Even like, I think it was last year, the year before, where I don't remember. There was these kids trapped in a tunnel or something,
Oh yeah, dude. He
and
called those guys pedophiles.
he called
So pedophiles.
some
Yeah, yeah.
scientist guy that
No,
was
not
trying
a
to help
scientist
them.
guy. So he was like a Navy guy from Australia, right?
Oh yeah, the guy that was supposed to be helping the
Yeah, he just called
yeah
him a pedophile for no reason. Like, what the fuck? Because he didn't agree with you or he didn't want to use your technology. What the fuck?
yeah. So he doesn't take criticism well,
Hmm.
as you can tell, and even like because Tesla's like his baby, I think he's got
It's not
there's
his
been
baby. He kidnapped that baby.
he adopted the baby, okay, forcibly or however.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've seen some stories about him, going at or some people writing negative articles about it. So yeah, it's a risk. It's a possibility that he might use it for his own gain.
Yep.
I hope
Thing
he's
is,
not. And I saw,
he will. He will. He
well,
definitely will.
he did say something about making, I don't know if all or part of the Twitter software open
Open
source.
source, but that's not gonna really change. I don't think. I think he's still gonna be manipulating a lot of it, though. Like, it's not gonna be public knowledge. It's not gonna be something that he's
Mhm.
gonna release. He's gonna make sure that, well, anyways, none of there is a whistleblower policy in most of these companies, regardless, right? So people can't quite come out and say it until they're actually whistleblowing.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to happen.
I think it's going to be interesting. And I think big problem is, we won't know if it's happening or not. So
And that's where I feel like, the thing is, looking at the past 3 years, right? Like the wealth distribution, the way it's gone is horrendous, dude. Like, billionaires have made double the amount of money they have, and people who were poor have become more poor, and inflation rates is killing everyone.
It's not looking good.
It's not looking very good, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he wants to use that for his own benefit. Twitter he bought because, you know what, Tesla doesn't spend any money on marketing.
Yeah,
Twitter is the way. He's bought Twitter. That's his way of marketing everything. That's his way of swinging everything towards Tesla's favor. That's his way of swinging everything towards SpaceX favor. Even though I love SpaceX, right? I love the whole idea behind SpaceX. I still believe that he's going to do this, and he's going to make sure that this is the way he does it. And if he wants to destroy other companies on social media, he will. He definitely will. Without a doubt. Like, he's that kind of a person, and he's not had a very good history with. He's a giant baby. He's a bit.
Now this isn't gonna make it onto Twitter. He's gonna suppress this. Look what you've done.
He might come after us. Just saying. After this episode,
I think we'll be okay. Yeah. Well. Side story. Well, not side story, but side topic.
Yeah.
I don't buy the whole Twitter has no marketing budget thing.
Tesla.
Tesla has no, like, they have much marketing.
Oh, like, yeah, they do.
All their events are marketing. All their like everything.
They don't
just
have
do it
a
in a different way.
They don't have
a different way.
Yeah, they don't have a division for it, and it's like a very
I mean, you cannot have a division and just hire contractors to be like, hey, do this thing for me, kind of thing. So yeah, the good thing is Elon is good at marketing himself as a CEO. But all the events, like, did you see the what is the event they had recently? The Cyber Rodeo.
Yeah,
I don't know if you.
I heard about it. I haven't seen anything from it.
It wasn't too interesting, to be honest. It's just minor updates. But it was just more about opening new factories. I guess, marketing. I think they have marketing, but they I think that's a nice thing to say. Oh, we don't spend anything on marketing, but they definitely do.
Yeah,
Like they have
definitely.
stores. They have stores. Like even
Yeah,
in Melbourne where we are, they've got
it's
stores in the mall.
it's
That's marketing.
it's like pop up shop sort of a thing,
It's not even
situation,
a
right?
pop up shop. They've been there for like 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, but
So
yeah,
all that money, like they don't need that. They don't sell cars from that thing. So
yeah.
anyway, good side of Elon, well, not good side, but positive side. I think all their factories are pretty cool. Like the amount of work they're putting into production
But
is
the thing is, I'm gonna say this: the quality has been horrendous, though. Like, I would not buy Tesla because of their quality. I would love to buy Tesla,
yeah.
but their quality is so bad. And recently, like you're aware that I've had a very shitty experience with my last car, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am not buying a car that's not reliable and that's just does things. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but that's just not it. Like, they have this factory. Why the fuck are there so many quality issues? Why do they do have proper quality assurance on their cars?
Well, I'm guessing that now that they have to make at large scale now, at high scale, that the quality is going to go up anyway.
What is it though?
But
I don't know. He's
I
been
mean,
getting away
we'll
with it.
find out. But what I'm saying is, like, these factories have been opened in the last month, so we're still yet to see. I'm just saying the technology inside is pretty cool. I don't know if you've seen the fly through video of the
Yep.
Berlin. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
No,
Seen that.
I'm gonna show it to you, and while
Okay.
I tell you, I'll turn off the sound.
Yeah. So this is what I'm gonna say about Elon, right? Like, he
Mm.
is great with innovation, dude. I'll give that to him without a doubt.
Yeah.
He actually incites innovation. He makes sure that, hey, he's changing the game, right? And that's all great and all, but the way he does it is just not ethical. And for me, that's a bit like certain things that he's done is just not it.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
yeah, I think I've seen this maybe.
this is pretty cool. So this is
Yeah.
like a fly through of their Berlin factory.
Yep.
And it's not all one shot, but it really takes you through the whole process and just makes you see how big
Yep.
the factory is. And it's pretty minimal human interaction
Yeah.
with this. So I'm hoping that they've got all their processes down at this point, and the quality goes up, I guess, from here, because surely they're not spending all the money on these machines for it to be terrible, basically.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm not
We'll
guaranteeing
see.
things are going to be great, but
Yeah.
I'm
Like-
optimistic. I'm optimistic.
By the way, this is definitely PR, but just gonna say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is 100% marketing. Like,
Yeah.
they had to hire a very skilled drone operator to do this because, dude,
Yeah, no,
imagine
they
crashing
need a
drone.
proper director who would go through
Yeah.
it scene by
Yeah.
scene. It's not just
So
it's like a proper team they require for all this stuff.
yeah, 100%. Like, this is not just, oh, let's just randomly make a video and see how it goes. Like, they want to show off what they're doing, and it's marketing.
Jeez,
Yeah,
rest
but-
in peace, factory workers. There's no more.
Yeah,
factory
dude,
workers.
you don't see, like, you hardly see any people in this whole video, and
Yeah.
there's a few, like, in the later stages, but they're kind of just standing around. Like, they don't do the work. They're probably just checking if things are fine. But yeah, you hardly see any human interaction.
But I don't know how much of this is true, though. That's what I'm going to say as well. Like, this could be very much like one of those things, right, which is being spinned around to say that, hey, actually, these humans aren't really doing much, but they might actually be doing a lot. And because the thing
That's
is,
true.
because the thing is, before Tesla, a lot of these companies have been in the game, right? Who know production really well, and some of these companies have managed to do it really well, but they haven't been doing it through robots. They've been doing it via people.
Yeah.
Good example, like Toyota. Toyota has like an excellent reliability and quality assurance, right? And
Yeah.
it's just one of those things like it just comes with practice, and it just
Yeah.
comes with getting proper processes in place.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm very interested to see the outcome of these. I'm interested to see how it turns out.
I don't know if I'm interested
With the
to see,
amount
to
of-
be honest.
I think they're gonna do well, and I think they are doing well, especially in the electric game.
Oh no, no! Oh, you're talking about Tesla. I'm talking
Yeah.
about Twitter. I don't know if I'm willing to see
Oh.
what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I feel like it's happened before, and we're just doing a full circle again. And I don't know if Twitter. This is going to be a big mistake for Twitter. Like now it's just all Elon, but yeah,
We'll see. Well, it's his it's his business now. Let's see what he does. I think we're not going to see as much change as.
Oh no, definitely
as
not
we
in
think,
6 months. Yeah, we're not going to see it in the next 6 months. It's probably going to happen after 6 months, and it can't be quick. Like if Elon's not stupid, it's not going to be like quick changes. It's going to be like one by one, slow and steady changes.
Yeah.
You can't just put like a whole bunch of changes and be like, yeah, okay, it's going to happen. And people will be all right with it. That's not how product adoption works. It's just not gonna that's just not how it's gonna work.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm guessing there's gonna be very dramatic exits from the company for sure.
I'm wondering if the CEO is gonna stick around.
No. I think the whole poison pill idea sort of came from the CEO. He wants to take the company to another direction than him.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean,
I feel like he's gonna be the first one to be fired. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think his what he was saying when he first became CEO is almost like the exact opposite of what Elon is saying.
Exactly.
So it's I don't know how he's gonna. Because he seemed like he's gonna be clamping down on, he's gonna be doing a lot more banning, that kind of stuff. So I don't know what's gonna happen with him at the wheel, if he's gonna stay at the wheel. But we'll see how it goes.
Definitely won't. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think he'll be the first one to be kicked out, or he would be forced to step down from the company. That's definitely my thoughts. But, it's gonna be, but the thing is, now I'm not gonna have a proper platform to go to regarding.
You're gonna be fine. You're gonna stay on the app.
I'm gonna stay for a bit, right? But you know what? The way the deterioration is gonna happen, it's gonna be by like Facebook, right? Like people were using Facebook fine long back ago, right? But slowly got to a point where it's just too much misinformation, too much crap, just too much of a lot of things, right? Which you didn't want. And I don't know if I want to stick around for that on Twitter as well. Like I don't want that. I just don't enjoy it. This is just not a good app experience, regardless.
Well, I guess. I mean, when did Twitter start? Twitter's been around almost as long as Facebook, right?
Yep.
So it hasn't really gone out of. It doesn't age the way other companies age, because it's a very. It just does a couple things. Like it's just like tweets, read other people's tweets, what's trending, send DMs. That's about it.
That's why I like Twitter, because it's so simple. It never got to a point, right, where like Facebook, right, it was just buying off all these companies. It was just one of those greedy companies that was just running behind money, selling your data to every fucking person on the planet, every wrong person on the planet, or just giving it out for free. And it just got too much. Like Facebook just got too much, or Meta now. It just got too much. Like that's why people just stopped using Facebook as a platform for social media. Instagram's still around, but it's really struggling against TikTok right now. But Facebook, like people just lost all their faith from Mark Zuckerberg as a CEO and the whole platform itself. and that's why Twitter was so good, because you know what, the way I still feel Jack Dorsey was a great CEO. I'm gonna say this. He didn't run all the way behind money. Like, yeah, there were advertisements, and of course you need to keep the company operational, and then it's a big company, right?
Yeah.
But he never pushed it to the point where, you know what, it was just advertisements, advertisements, advertisements constantly. The way Facebook and Twitter started, they were quite similar at the start.
Yeah.
Whereas Facebook took this whole other direction and went very extreme with the way it was sort of taking our data and sort of earning money. And Twitter did, and that's what I love. I love Twitter because of its simplicity. And and dude, like, I love the whole explore side of things, because I go through so much news from there. Like, I don't have a news application that I go through. Most of my news just comes from there. It redirects me to proper news sources and stuff. But you know what? Even that's in jeopardy now. So I don't know how much I want to really be on Twitter once these massive changes are actually rolled out.
Yeah. I mean, do you think any of the stuff he wants to change is going to affect the way you use Twitter? Like, let's say he uses it and now there's less kind of policing of what people say or do. Is that still going to reach you, do you think?
It's not going to be that. I think one thing that's probably going to affect Twitter, the way it's used at its core, is people being anonymous right now. He said that he wants to introduce that whole check mark thing, right? And people who won't have those check mark, I'm guessing they're not gonna really have much, like, they won't sort of be highlighted, or there'll be like a bit of a limitation where you won't be able to see them. And he's gonna put these check mark based off your IDs and stuff, right? I don't know if I want to sign up for that. I don't want to give my ID. I'm sorry, but I don't know. It's a bit scary, especially with how Zuckerberg has sort of managed our data, how even Google has managed our data, right? I don't know if I'm comfortable enough to give my ID to a social media platform. And on top of that, you know what? Twitter is definitely like, there's a massive part of Twitter, right, which is solely depends on trolling and anonymous people. And once that's removed, I don't know what's going to be. It's not going to be the same application.
Yeah. I think there's definitely it's the Wild West out there on Twitter with anonymous accounts. So it can be very entertaining because people are anonymous, because they can just say whatever.
Yeah, but now there's going to be real life consequences to what they say, right? Like, so let's say there's like, there's certain political view you have, right? And it might be something that's that you can't quite say it as a person, because you know what, that might actually affect your job. Like, that might actually affect your way of living, and people just won't say it. There's like a very funny side of Twitter which comes from trolling. And I'm not talking about like bullying trolling, but I'm talking about like the other side of trolling, where people are just trolling each other, making fun, just ratioing, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I feel that's gonna be dead on Twitter. Like, Elon Musk can say all this stuff, right? Because there's no consequences to him. There's not gonna be any consequences to him. But
I wonder if I wonder what's going to happen with the anonymous accounts. But I would want that to stick around. But I guess I'm also the kind of person that just wants everything. Anyone can say anything, and we'll just let the cards fall where they may. But we'll see what happens. I'm reasonably optimistic because he's actually a Twitter user. And I think he also appreciates, the way Twitter is.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like, he's a Twitter user, right? But this is going back to the same exact point. He is not like your average person. He's a billionaire, who doesn't have any consequences to what he says. Anything he says, even if he gets cancelled, right? Let's say, he's still gonna be a billionaire. He's still gonna have a lot of people by the balls, and he's still gonna be this massive conglomerate, right? Who can do anything. That's what other people aren't. Like people like you and me. If I say something that's super controversial, right, I would have to think it 100 times because it might actually go to my employer. There are real life consequences to that. And you know what? Something like that, I can't recover from that. I don't have the resources or I don't have the money to just be like, okay, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to do anything. And that's what I'm saying. Like people won't have that. People don't have that luxury. A lot of people stay anonymous because you know what? They actually don't want to be. They don't want people to know about this account. And like that's the whole fun part of Twitter as well, and even Reddit. Like you see Reddit, the reason why Reddit is so much fun and there's so much stuff that comes out is because some of these stories that come out of Reddit, right? People don't want to share it, knowing that people knowing that hey, that this is actually them.
Yeah,
people like the idea of being anonymous.
I'm starting to think that he will not remove anonymous accounts. I don't know. I don't think
he said he won't remove it, but him introducing that check, right? Alone is going to be like I'm sure like you said, right? A good way to sort of handle bullying and stuff would be just letting people with check to appear. And a lot of people will probably go ahead and change that. And you know what? Changing that, even if it's like 20-30% of the core users do that, right? Make that change that way they can only see people who are checked, right? That changes the application massively. That will have that will have number of consequences to it.
Let's see how it goes.
It'd be very interesting. Definitely be very interesting to see what happens. I don't know if I'm happy about it. I'm not very happy about it. Considering it's Elon and he has 100%. It's not like even he has to answer to board members, right? He just owns the 100% of the thing.
It's just his now.
Like a good example is look at Facebook and Zuckerberg, right? Zuckerberg in one day he lost Facebook $200 billion. So when something like that happened, he did. And so when something like that happens, right? You you remember how there is like a massive crash in this desktop. When something like that happens, the CEO gets fired first thing. He didn't get fired. Guess why? Because the way their stocks are structured, right? He can veto whatever he like. If they decide to they try to force him out, he can veto and be like, you know what? Actually, I'm not fired. And that this is where it becomes very dangerous, right? Even this one person, and this one person, Elon doesn't come from a background where he understands people who struggle through normal issues, normal middle class people, even low class and middle class income people. He doesn't understand them because he comes from wealth. His parents were emerald miners. He comes from wealth, and he's born into wealth, and all he's done is he's been in wealth the whole time. He doesn't understand the issues that normal people go through, and he never could. And he might. The reason why he has right wing ideologies is because you know what, it helps his companies, it helps him become more rich, and he'll continue to do that even if that means it's crushing the small people. And he, even though like let's say he is a Twitter user, right, he just doesn't understand that perspective of being someone who's a middle class to low class and who can just talk on Twitter, but now probably won't talk on Twitter. Won't want to use Twitter. Like he doesn't understand that.
Yeah. He can't like relate
Yeah.
because he doesn't have that experience. I do think that he wants to keep Twitter fun. I think that if he enjoys the attention he gets on Twitter, and if he makes Twitter lame, then
but
he's not going to have that attention anymore.
He's like Trump 2.0, sort of. Where Trump enjoyed his time on Twitter, right? You could tell he loved that attention, even though it was very controversial, right? He loved that attention, and that is where Elon is as well at.
Yeah.
I feel like, he probably wants to keep it fun, but he can twist these rules according to him, and it's going to be, and that dynamic is going to be very dangerous, man. It's going to be very, very dangerous.
Yeah, I guess we'll just see how he plays it.
Like, imagine if Trump had control over Twitter. How would Twitter be?
I mean, he's got his own app now.
What's they call Truth Social? Is it
Truth Social, bro? You better watch out. Have you made your account? Have you secured your handle?
No.
Dude, you're gonna be left behind. What are you?
Right. It's all right. People can take that handle. It's not the biggest thing. I'm good. I'm probably never gonna jump onto that app. So.
Yeah, it's very unlikely. Like, Twitter's already there, so unless Twitter messes up real bad, no one's gonna. Yeah, I think it's gonna be fine. I think we'll check back in a year, and maybe this might be famous last words from me, but we'll check back in a year and we'll see the state of Twitter.
Maybe the world's gonna be all in chaos because of Elon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we might not have a world by the end of next year, so let's just see. This might be the least of our problems.
Yeah, true. But
cool.
Did we want to give an update on something? You wanted me to give an update on?
I don't know. Very important update. Yeah. Aman, do you have a PS5? No. Damn! I really thought today was the day.
Yeah.
But I guess not.
I guess
not. I think
spend that money on.
I think next episode is gonna be it. I think next episode is gonna be the one.
I don't think so.
I can feel it.
No, but it depends. So the thing is, I'm moving from my place, right? If I end up buying at the new place, sure, but I have to spend a lot of money right now on the new place. I have to do the whole furnishing, everything.
Yeah. Next episode, come back with the PS5, okay? PS5 added new background.
Yeah, but I spent that PlayStation 5 money on something else, though.
What else could possibly take precedence over PS5?
You know what I spent that money on. What are you on about?
Oh. You gave it to Tim, didn't you?
Yeah, I gave it to Tim.
You gave it to Tim Cook.
Timothy has that money now.
Oh my gosh. This guy really has you. Damn.
It's crazy how that could be same amount of money as PlayStation 5, but
yeah, when you think about it, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I think this will be a good time to. So, could you just tell us what the device is? Can you say it out loud, please? I can't hear you. I can't see. We need to say it out loud for the audio listeners.
I got a what is it called? Apple Watch Series 7.
Apple Watch Series 7. Damn, have we covered that on this podcast? We haven't covered it. Are you sure? All right. Well, I'll look back at the tapes and I'll see what we said about it in the past. Yeah.
So it was like more of an impulse buy. I went to the Apple store and my mom was buying one.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you know what? It's time.
It's time. You just smelled that fresh Apple store air. The geniuses commenting, telling you
those guys are idiots, though, man. Like, I'm just gonna say, I don't know why they call Apple geniuses. They're Apple idiots. Like, fuck.
Why are they Apple idiots?
Dude, like, what are they doing there? They don't know anything. Like, I know more about the watch than they knew. I went there, like they were showing it to my mom, right?
Mhm.
I was like, nah, fam. Like, you're showing it wrong.
Oh, were they showing like the wrong features or what did they
The
say?
way they were trying to sell, I was like, dude, just give me this watch. Don't tell me all about these other watches. Like, we know what we want. Stop annoying us.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
So which one did your mom get?
C7 as well. She got like the gold one as well with the gold strap, all that stuff, like super
Oh,
fancy one.
very,
She
very fancy.
she went with like a full high end one, but yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Good old Tim.
Good old Timothy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He always gets you. Now I'm like so close to just buying like a what do you call MacBook Pro.
Dude, I would recommend.
I'm
so
definitely
expensive.
I'm definitely gonna buy a MacBook Pro
Yeah.
at some point. I don't know if
Mm.
it's gonna be this year or I'm still gonna try to stick it out with this laptop.
Mm.
But if
Yeah.
this laptop does die,
Yeah.
because it is coming to its end of life, right?
Yeah.
So if it does die, I think next one's definitely gonna be MacBook Pro.
Yeah. I don't know if they're releasing new ones this year. I haven't heard
Oh,
much
you didn't give
about
your
it.
update as well. People don't know.
My update.
Yeah.
Oh, I also spent money on I also gave money to Timothy, our good friend. Probably a lot more than you did.
Yeah.
Because I because I purchased a MacBook Pro as well.
Tell the specifications. Tell like what the size was.
Okay. Well, let me open up about this Mac. I'm not going to tell you the price. You can deduce that by.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got 16-inch
Yeah.
MacBook Pro,
Yep.
2021.
Yeah. Compensating.
M1.
Just joking.
I didn't get that, and then now it just clicked. Okay,
Oh my
very
God.
nice, very well played. Anyway, everything from here will all be compensation. Okay, so M1 Max chip,
Yeah.
1 terabyte of storage,
Yep.
and 64 gigs of RAM.
Nice. Geez,
I don't
64
know.
gigs, fam.
64 gigs of RAM. Yeah,
Jesus.
that's a lot of RAM.
Yeah, that is a lot of RAM.
That is a lot of RAM.
Jesus.
But honestly, it's been great. I'm not sure if it's because it's a big jump, because my last laptop was a 2016 one, but the difference is pretty crazy. And I'm just gonna say this. Okay, actually, this is not a fair comparison, but I got my dad a Windows laptop, last week, and I was setting up for him, and I hated every step of it.
Yeah.
It's just
Windows is
not a great
what
experience.
Yeah,
it's not a great experience, even though it was Windows 11.
Yeah,
it was not a great experience setting up.
So,
yeah,
I think the only feature, and this is going to be a very stupid feature, that's like me wanting to shift to Mac, and it's going to be a very stupid reason.
Give it to us.
Is going to be this stupid snapping Windows feature, man. Like, I can't snap that thing on Mac. You know how you can snap Windows?
Yeah.
Why can't you do that on Mac?
You can't do that on Mac.
No, you have to get another extension.
No, you don't need another extension. No. You don't have to snap, bro. Do you want me to give you a Mac tutorial right now?
Yeah, sure.
Dude,
sure.
I will.
Sure. You can't. Okay. You definitely can't snap the thing.
Bro, relax. Let me show you. I'm a veteran. All right. Okay. So here we go. Hopefully this works. I don't know. Can you see my screen?
I can see recording something, but it's not.
Can you see anything? Can you see Zoom?
Oh, no, it's showing. Yep.
Okay.
I can see now.
Can you see 2 windows?
I see the one. Yeah, 2 windows. There's one.
2 windows.
One.
All right. Hear me out. Can you see my Chrome still?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me show you, bro. Wait. Hopefully this works. If this doesn't work, I'll be so embarrassed. Boom.
What?
2 screens side by side. Snappity, boomity bop, boom, pow. Okay.
Yeah,
for the listeners.
But it's not on the desktop though. Wait. Go back. What was that? Exactly. That's what I thought. So you know what? I've seen that. That's pathetic. Okay.
That's all you need.
No,
What
that's
else
not
do you
what you
need?
need. What do you mean, dude? The way I work, right? I have like multiple desktops, right, on Windows, and I snap like a whole heap of things, and I keep moving. I switch really quickly between those desktops,
Okay.
so I can see like why is it not on those desktops?
Bruv, you can do that for multiple desktops. I don't see what the issue is here.
No, you can't do it.
I don't understand what you're saying. I can put two things side by side on different
So wait,
desktops and switch between.
I'll show you. Give me a sec.
See, now you got to load up Windows and
No, but
then
because my
freaking
thing isn't
Bill
connected.
Gates. Bill Gates isn't gonna. You see?
My screen
Okay.
isn't connected.
Here we go. Here we go.
No,
Look
but
at this.
I'll still show you though.
You see how quickly I had that example for you?
Wait,
Because
let me just close
Mac OS is snappy, snappy, chappy, chappy, bro.
Let me close everything from here. So
You already lost the speed race. I'm just putting that out there.
shut the fuck up. Okay. So you're here. We'll open another one. So
Wow.
shut
Quality
up.
entertainment right now from Mr. Windows here.
Yeah, dude, I don't like Windows. I'm not saying I like Windows, but dude, you know what? It's this one feature is really gonna bother me because I know how I work, right?
It's
Okay.
very easy to resize Windows if you need to put like four.
No, but
screens on
it's
one
not. It's not though. It's annoying. It takes time. Okay. I know it's a very stupid reason, but you know what?
thing.
It is my reason.
That's okay.
It is my 13th reason. Where is the thing? How do you fucking share on
Dude,
this?
you've lost this battle. If it's taken this long
How
to
do you
even prepare
share?
the screen,
How do you share screen on Zoom?
dude, it's at bottom. Just click share screen.
Oh fuck, I couldn't see it before.
Oh my gosh. See, it's
Okay.
probably Windows blocking you, bro.
So you see this, right?
Yep.
I can just do this over here without any issues.
Yep.
See how I can just move between desktops?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, moving between desktops.
Yeah, moving
That's
between
so
desktops.
simple.
No, but you can move between desktops, but you can't snap them in the desktops though, you know?
I don't see why you would need to do that.
What do you mean? I do that. What do you mean?
I don't
That's-
see what's the difference between what I did for multiple desktops.
No. You just showed one. So
Okay,
it's not in the desktop, right? It's like in a separate
Yeah.
staging area, right? But
Yeah.
you can only do one of those. You can't have multiple of those.
I can have so many of those.
Okay, show it.
Okay, well, let's do this.
Why can't you do it on the desktop though?
Does it make a difference?
It does for me. Okay.
Why? Why do you want to see the background or something?
Yeah, sometimes I do.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have several screens.
Mhm.
Okay. Oops, no, I did. Okay. Is this what you want, sir? Is this what you want? Boom. Switch between desktops. Easy as that, bro.
But can you do like 4 in a desktop?
Who needs 4?
I do 4. What do you mean? If I have like a massive screen, I need 4 of them. What do you mean?
You can't do 4.
Yeah,
You can't do 4.
That's where it's lacking.
That's if that's the OD problem, I don't think it's worth stopping you from going on that 15-minute journey to
No, but
open
you
up
know what?
2 windows.
No,
just
okay,
now.
so I lose like let's say every time I'm working, right?
Mhm.
Let's say every half an hour I lose about like a minute because of this
You lose
crap.
like 30 seconds.
No, I'll lose a minute. Okay, even if that, right?
Mhm.
And the amount I use my laptop, fam, it could be like doing a lot of shit during that time.
Okay,
I've
but
been
hear me
losing
out.
time. Okay, time is money.
Time is money, but just realize that you took 15 minutes to set up your example.
Yeah, but because I didn't have my screen isn't working, right? I wish it was working.
What is it? Windows screen?
No, Samsung actually.
Okay, fair enough. Look, I think once you make the transition, you're going to.
No, I
won't
will
regret it.
I will make the
Yeah,
transition.
I'm saying
just
you
waiting
won't
for
regret it.
I'm just waiting for this this laptop to die.
Okay.
Or if not, probably if it doesn't die this year, right, I'll probably end up buying end of the year. Give myself a bit of a Christmas present.
Yeah. I think that's a good present. Very, very expensive.
Very expensive
But-
present though. Oh my
But a
god.
good present.
I can't believe you bought a 16-inch though. What are your review though around new?
I am very happy with I'm very happy that I have it.
Mhm.
I still think it's overpriced, but it's doing everything I need, and it's doing it at, like, I never have to worry about anything. I never have to worry about having too many windows open, too many tabs open.
If you
like-
guys want to know what Sinma does, why he needs this much, he
Mm.
edit porn videos for a living.
Yeah, Premiere Pro. So I'll have several windows of Premiere Pro open and After Effects, because I gotta add the graphics. You can't have these videos without the graphics, right?
Yeah, you gotta add that splash in it. I
Splash.
I totally got
Splash.
banned of YouTube.
Anyway, I think we can wrap it up now.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. You are moving to a new place.
Yes.
What about people that don't like and subscribe? What about those people?
Oh,
They need to move to a new place?
no, they don't need to. I think we're gonna move it back. So considering we have an unreleased video from last time,
Mhm. Yeah.
I believe in recycling and reusing. So
Okay.
I'm gonna say the same exact thing. And I'm not gonna threaten this time. I'm gonna
Okay.
say, hey guys, if you like and subscribe, you need to make sure you do both of them, right?
Mhm.
Simba will come to your house and clean your toilets.
What?
Yes.
Is this what you said last time? I don't remember this. And did I
Definitely.
consent to this? Did I say yes?
Yes, you said yes. You said if people like and subscribe, you're gonna go wash their toilets, like clean their toilets.
What if they're far away? Like, what if we have a subscriber in?
It doesn't matter, man. You gotta.
What if the subscriber is in Russia?
Well, you go to Russia then. Find your way.
What if Putin is the subscriber?
You gotta clean his toilets.
Fair enough. Well, the man has said what he has said. So
Yeah, exactly.
everyone that likes and subscribes newly. Okay, I don't want old subscribers unsubscribing and then subscribing again. I know you. I know all 6 of you. Okay. Anyone new that likes and subscribes, I will come and clean your toilet.
Yeah, I can.
But you have a 2-week window to put in your request, because I'm not doing it in perpetuity. Okay.
10 years later, somebody.
10 years later, some dude subscribes and it's like, well, I have an appointment. So we're not gonna do that.
We're getting sued for not.
Yeah, dude.
cleaning the toilet.
100%. No, Dark Mode Podcast is gonna be a dark mode cleaning company. And yeah, I'm not about that life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair.
Anyway.
All right.
Well,
Cool.
good chat.
Good chat.
We'll see you
Good
all in the next episode.
chat. I don't know when that's gonna be, but yeah.
I don't know when that's gonna be. I'm probably gonna have washed a few toilets in the meantime, but we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Aye.
100%. Cool.
Deuces.